morning, my faithful Lawyer YouTube subscribers. Today it is Tuesday, October 27th. The year is 2020. We're still in the coronavirus pandemic. I just put my phone on mute so y'all can quit complaining. Okay, I see a lot of times in the comment section where people say they want black men to be leaders. And they feel like black men have not been leaders in the black community. Well, I grew up in a community where there were black men who were leaders. My father, uncles, neighbors, they were all leaders. They worked very diligently to keep clean communities. All these men were either married and had wives and children back in the 70s. I was born in 1970. But as you know, it's very rare today to find households in the black community where husband and wives are married or partners are married, unfortunately, there's a large portion of the black community being raised in homes by mothers, just single mothers. The fathers are not there for whatever reasons. But the fathers were never there in these particular women's lives to begin with. My father married my mother. Walter Sr. married my mother. And they had 7 children together. And we all lived in the same 4-bedroom, 2-bath house, 2.5 baths. No, 1.5 bath house in Gary, Indiana. So I was a little kid, it would seem like a big house to me. As I went back up to I said, man, this house was small. But we grew up in a household. We had a fairly decent middle class black lifestyle. My father worked at the U.S. Steel Mill. My mother was a homemaker, raising the children. We never missed a meal. We had vacations. We traveled. We did things. We weren't poor. We had clothes and shoes and food. But my father was the type of person that you were not going to lay up in his house on a Saturday morning and watch cartoons. He hated those cartoons that we liked. He made us turn off that TV and say, get out of his house. My father insisted that we had to earn a living when we were kids. My sister Jackie sewed earrings. My sister Mia did hair. My brother and I, we delivered newspapers, shoveled snow. We all delivered newspapers. All 7 of us delivered newspapers. We had multiple paper routes up and down the streets before and after school. We shoveled snow, we raked leaves, we washed cars. My father had this massive vegetable garden we all had to go to and work in the summertime. We went fishing, hunting. My father taught me one of his sons and children to learn a skill, because my father couldn't read nor write. But he wanted the best for us. That's why he married my mother. They got a divorce because of my mother and her religious beliefs. He didn't want a divorce. Her dumbass did. That's a whole nother video. We're talking about that with Miss Hampton, because she's coming back to do some more videos. And she made a drastic mistake. Huge mistake. She should never divorced that man. However, now we live in an era which black women think, I can raise these children on my own. I don't need a man. Okay. Well, so they don't need a leader. And many of these children are growing up in homes without a father, without a leader, without somebody to show them what to do, without anyone that's taking them and making them, showing them at an early age how to, what we call hustle. Because you can't raise children on your own and work a full-time job. When I was growing up, either my daddy was there or my mama was there. If daddy was at work, mom was there. If mom was gone, daddy was there. We never even had a key to the front door. We had to knock at the door, and they let us in. I remember they had the term latchkey kids. No, we didn't have a key. My mother and father was like, you ain't get no key to this house. I never had a key to my home, my mother's home, my mother's father. Never. To this day, I don't have a key. Never had one. Even if somebody was there. Now, we got teenagers when my mother got divorced. I believe in Ohio we did have keys to the house, because by that time my mother and father were divorced. My father was in Mississippi with his new wife. My mother was doing everything else. She was doing in Cincinnati, Ohio, on her way to Atlanta. I'm going to Atlanta. I heard Atlanta is the land of milk and honey. She didn't grab up and U-Haul ran off to Atlanta. My senior year of high school, I'm like, Atlanta? What's going on in Atlanta? She fell for the okie doke. Like everybody else, that's how we ended up here. I sure as hell would never come to this hellhole. I don't like Atlanta. Never have. But anyway, that's another video. But you black women want leaders. You keep saying we want somebody to lead us, but you don't want to be led. If you are having children by men and you're not married to them, that's the worst mistake you could be making in your entire life. If you are in a relationship with a man, he has no desire to marry you, but you have children by him, you are fooling. You have done something foolish and dumb. You done laid up with a man who has not committed anything to you. He hasn't committed to even, like I said, taking your ass to Burger King and getting you a Whopper. But you didn't have children by him. You're not married. You don't own anything together. You have nothing tangible together except this baby. This little baby here. A little baby that he don't even want 9 times out of 10. My nieces and nephews have all these kids. None of them married. None of them. There's a young lady who calls his phone every day for my nephew. He's in jail. She in Texas. Why are you calling me? Have you heard from your nephew? Don't call. I'm like, what is wrong with this? This man is in jail, facing some very serious charges. On top of the fact, when he got out of jail last year, he was with some other woman. He got pregnant and they didn't have a baby. Do you not know that he has a woman who's here in Atlanta that he had a baby by, who's taking the collect calls when you don't take the collect phone calls? What is going on here? You in Texas. Texas, why are you here? What do you mean he's going to get out of jail? He's charged with some serious charges. He ain't getting out of jail. No time soon. But she ain't the only one calling. He meeting with, and I asked her, I said, have you ever met this man? Because a woman my nephew had a baby with last year, he got multiple children by multiple women. The woman he had a baby with, they met while he was in jail. She never met him until he got out. Never met him in person. She was going to visit him and send him money and taking his flat calls. He gets out of jail and goes and stays with her in her home. Impregnates her. She's pregnant. She has a baby. In the midst of all this, this nigga end up back in jail again. So he gets out of jail and he started a relationship. Already started in jail. She gets pregnant. She later on has his child. He ends up back in jail. When they were living together in her apartment, some things happened between him and her and I don't know what else. And she ended up getting evicted because of him, his black ass. Now he didn't get out of jail. She lost her apartment, but she was paying low rent, $30, $40, $50 a month in rent. Lost her apartment because of him. She then got pregnant, had a baby because of him. He back in jail. She's unemployed now with a baby and no place to live. But he in jail. Figure it out for me. Because I'm thoroughly confused. I'm not about to lay up next to some nigga. Have his child. He just got out of jail, no income. Back in jail again. And in the midst of all this, you lose your home because of his actions. Something he did at the apartment complex caused him to come and evict your dumb ass. Now, I keep meeting black women. They say, well, we wouldn't have children if we was waiting for them to marry us. You wouldn't have children, but generations before you all had children while they waited for their husbands to marry them. But you're also determined to have children, and so afraid that you feel like you can raise your children on your own, which is a disaster, because they can't financially afford these kids. You have so many children growing up in these homes in complete poverty. 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 This young lady, I allow her to come and clean my home occasionally. She's ringing us on off the hook now, the one who had the baby. She getting a little income. Let's pay my apartment ain't so big, I can clean this shit myself. But I give her some money so she can clean up, scrub the toilets, fold the towels, whatever. Try to move to my larger place. She needs a place to stay. Looking at her like, honey, I don't know, you had a place to stay. When that nigga was in that jail, you had a nice apartment. When he got out the jailhouse, you got pregnant by him and got evicted from your apartment. Whose fault is that? I'm about to lose my home over a ignorant ass nigga. I'm not doing that. That's why I'm sitting here by myself right now. And Mr. Earl Banks, Dr. Earl Banks is across town. Peaceful over here. See? Me sit in windowsill, do YouTube video, drink hot coffee. Delicious coffee. I'm doing it the Asian way instead of the nigga way. I'll sit here by myself and I'm just teasing. I don't know what the Asians up to. They could be doing, the Asians could be doing worse shit. They could be chopping each other up and feeding folks at the local Chinese. I'm gonna cut it up and feed it to the people. We wouldn't know. My little favorite Chinese place, I probably had a few of his girlfriends in there. It's good, isn't it? Good, yeah. Bitch, I chop her ass up and you eat her ass. I wouldn't know what the Asians are up to. So I'm not putting him on no pedestal. I'm just teasing and joking. But black women have got to start making wise decisions. Marriage first. Then comes the baby carriage. Or there will be no baby carriage. Ever. I'm so grateful I have no children. People say, wow, you're a gay man. I know plenty of gay folks who got children. What the fuck y'all talking about? I got plenty of gay friends. I got a friend across town, he got 7 children. 8. And he's younger than me. I'm like, and he knew it was gay before he had these children because I met him over 20 odd years ago. I'm like, you know, all these damn children. And you were out, child support killing me. I bet it is killing your dumb ass because you should have put a fucking condom on. 8 children. All different women of all races. He didn't discriminate. He liked them black, Asian, and Puerto Rican. On top of that, he gay. I didn't understand. I'm like, well, why did you end up with 8 children? Gay. I was confused. You was that fucking confused that you went out and had 8 children? On top of the other folks that you was like, what is this? No, you were trifling. That's what you were. And then bitches allowed you to come in there and nut in their asses. Now they got all these kids you got to take care of, and they run up to the courthouse getting child support and killing your check, the little paycheck you're getting. See, I don't have any children. Children equal to poverty. I'm driving Mercedes Benzes outside. I'd rather drive that Mercedes Benz into a ditch before I have some children. I don't want any. Never did. Now, if you want children, have children. I love children. I love kids. They're so sweet. Oh, look at the baby. So cute. They just keep them way across town away from me. I don't want to raise no children. Have children, but do it the right way. You want a leader, right? Black man ain't leading. Well, don't lead him to your pussy. If he ain't a leader, then don't lead him to your pussy. Send him about his business. Be with a man if you can find one. That's like he saying, I don't know why everybody's so caught up on race. Gotta have a black man. Don't you want any good man that's willing to commit his life to you and your children? That's all that should matter. He's flying from Mars. Mr. Martian, are you going to commit your life to me and my children? Yes, I take care of you and your children. We have pretty Martian children. Oh, done deal. At least he got a spacecraft. He done came all the way from Mars. This nigga done walked across the street from the ghetto, ain't got shit. And you having children by him. Laying up with him. I meet attractive guys every day, y'all. It's something about these cars, and I'm not kidding you, especially when I'm driving the S-Class Mercedes, the S-AMG. I pulled up in the AMG. Oh, they love that car. Oh, my God, them niggas come from like fries to shit, to sugar. Oh, that's a nice, man, that's a nice car. What you do? Excuse me, back up. We supposed to be social distancing 6 feet now. You bother you poor ass niggas looking at this damn car. Get back. You can't afford this car. I can't afford it either. Shit, but I'm driving it. I think it's every day. Broke. Nice looking broke. Make any shit for me. That's how I was with Earl for all those years. At least he had a job and income. Dr. Earl Banks. I said, everybody else, I'm flat as broke. Ain't have shit. So, I'm like, okay. What can I do with a broke nigga? But, now, I've tried some renovation projects. That shit don't work. Broke niggas need to stay broken on the other side of town. Ain't even worth having sex with you. Well, your ass is broke. Do not call the number. I meet broke niggas all the damn time. But the difference is, you black women meet broke niggas and you move me in. I'm bringing Tyrone in. He just got out of life in prison. He did 18 years over in prison, so he just got out. He's moving into my home. I'm getting pregnant out there. What in the fuck is going on here? I met that young lady, and I told her, I said, be careful. This is my nephew. Don't get pregnant by him. She did it anyway. He back in jail. He ain't took care of none of the children that he has with all these other women. None of them. I helped one of his girlfriends that he was dating. They got a bunch of kids together. She ended up having to get to Kansas. I had to end up giving her the money to move, get a U-Haul, apartment, everything. She wanted something better for her children. And she wanted out of Atlanta. So she went someplace else, Kansas, some other places. She's doing much better now. When he got out of jail, he didn't even bother to call her or make arrangements to see his children. Trifling. But she knew he was about shit. Like she said, Walter, I was young and stupid. But I got to take care of these kids now. She didn't have a leader. So she's got to lead on her own. And it's complicated for a sister, a black woman with no education, with all these kids to lead. But she got to take care and feed these children. So my heart goes out to her. Because it ain't an easy road ahead. And I wouldn't want anyone to be in her position. Nowhere. Black women have got to start making better decisions. Back to this leader thing. There are no leaders in the black community because these new generations of men are growing up in households where there are no fathers. So tell them to get their fucking ass up out that goddamn bed and get the fuck out of that house. My father come in and say, nigga, get your ass up and get out of here. You ain't laying up my house all day. A little we be outside like, what we gonna do? Ride our bikes, go find somebody going, yeah, I want your yard leaf break. Yeah, we're breaking $5. You see people breaking leaves. We can do that for you. We'll break them for you. And they drop that leaf, give us $5, break them. I'm talking about y'all big yards, breaking, putting the bag in leaves up. These kids $5. But I was so, I had mixed emotions as a child. I was angry because we were forced to have to do this. But as an adult, I don't lay up in this house expecting Jesus to come over here and pay these motherfucking bills. I have to get up and hustle. I learned this since I was a little kid. Thank God I did learn this. Thank God I had a leader. My mother didn't see that because she was Jesus, oh Jesus, Jesus. She thought Jesus was providing for her. She forgot her husband, my father, was going up to U.S. Steel Mill, bringing home his entire paycheck and giving it to her black ass. She too busy up in the Jehovah's Witness Kingdom Hall, trying to get into heaven. She didn't realize she was already in heaven. She didn't work no place, but lived a good life. She regrets it now, but she looks back on it. Because she was the person who filed for divorce. He didn't want a divorce. My mother could be living a very good life right now. She'd have had his pension, Social Security. She gets his Social Security anyway because she's married in birth. But she'd had so much other stuff from him that Ruby got because she was married to my father when he passed away. She would have got that. Father died in 2001, 2002. I think they divorced back in the 80s sometimes? 80 something? I don't know. I went to high school in 89, so I think they were well divorced by then. Yeah, because he was remarried by that time. She wanted her freedom. She didn't want a man to tell her what to do. Well, that's a whole nother video. And I'm looking at some of these black women that make some terrible, terrible, terrible choices with men. Educated black women, smart black women. But they still having children by these men without a ring on their finger, without marriage. Why would you do this? Do you think your situation will turn out better If a man has not committed to marrying you, and I know y'all say, well, marriage don't mean nothing. I don't give a fuck if marriage means nothing. Like, if that man has not committed to marrying you, do not have his children. Send him on his merry way. Preserve your womb for somebody who wants to take care of you and your children that you produce with them. Quit having children by trifling men. I know a lot of trifling men who had children. They don't want nothing to do with them. But they told these women from the very get-go they didn't want these children. But these women went on and got pregnant and had these children by these men. If you're having sex with a man, he's made it clear he don't want no children by you. You better make sure you either two things. Make sure he put a condom on, or you on birth control, or stop having sex with him, period. And tell him to skedaddle. Because he told you he don't want no children by you. And when you bring that child into this world, you gonna learn he meant business. He didn't want no children by you. Now here's the funny part. I have a friend, got this chick married I almost want to say, 2008, 2009, 2010, got her pregnant. They were just fucking her. But he didn't like her that way. He just was having sex with her. He told her he didn't want to have this baby with her. She had it anyway. But now he's married to a woman he loves. And he's having children. But the woman who he had this baby by, she's pissed. She's angry. She didn't even know he got married. I didn't know myself. But he got married and having children with this other woman. They done bought a house together. He was taking care of the kids. He did. The way he did that child by that woman was wrong. He realizes that now because he's much more mature. This is 10 years later. But he told her he didn't want to have children with her because he didn't love her in that way. But she did it anyway. Okay, fault runs both ways. He was having sex with her without a condom, and she was so opening up her legs, not demanding he put on the condom, and she was not on any birth control, and here comes this child that he didn't want, but she wanted. But in the middle is this little boy. Now all of a sudden he wants to be a father and wants to be involved in this child's life. But of course the mother's angry. She getting child support from him. And they've had tussles and fights about child support, custody battles, and all this different stuff. This could have been avoided. I know it's too late now. It's too late now. The boy's here. But this happens every day. It's happening right now as we speak. I see it so often. I'll see couples together working out at the gym. Next thing, that woman vanished. I said, "Hey, when that girl's working on, she got pregnant." I told her you couldn't keep that baby, but it didn't work out. I said, "She got pregnant by her." You? Yeah, but I didn't want that child. So they break up. Right in the middle, as soon as she gets pregnant. But wasn't you the one sticking your penis into her without a condom? I don't understand this. If you didn't want children, shouldn't you have been wrapping it up? Right? What did you think was going to happen? Oh, your pull-out game was that weak or something? I don't get it. This happens every day. Black women allow themselves, I know white folks do it too, but we talking about black folks now. Good Lord. We know white folks do it. White folks, yeah, we know. But anyway, she do it too. So anyway, you want a leader, you need to find somebody who's going to lead you up the aisle and love you and want you and want those kids. Hard to find that today because many young men have grew up in households where they did not have a leader present. They had no father present. No father, no male, no nothing. Again, these are just my thoughts and opinions. This video is way long. But you really need to be careful about the decisions you make. But anyway, this is the delivery truck. I'm waiting for a package to get here. Finally, I think that's done. Some people now can see it here. Today is Tuesday, October 27th, the year is 2020. Don't forget, we're in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic. Wear your mask. I got mine getting washed right now. Don't forget to wear your mask. Sanitize your hands. Clean up. Be prepared to social distance this winter as we go into phase 2 of the coronavirus that's eating people. Is eating people too. But anyway, I'm out of here. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. I'll have one more video I want to do today if I have time to, but I'll be back later on. I'm out.